All right, all right. So as you notice, the stories are less. Well, not really. A couple of them haven't been too much different than the other ones, but so um, still dealing with the club in Yokohama, but really mobile, like what do you call it? Like just by phone, through phone or stuff. I can't think of the word. Mostly now it's just all baseball stuff. I'm hanging out, with the player all day. I meet him in the morning and hang out until he goes to sleep. They come back, play games, meet him back in the morning, go to the field, get him lunch, get him whatever, take care of like any projects, creating clothing, things like that he wants to do. I'm just taking care of it. I also have a few other players I'm taking, on in other teams, just helping out and assisting, dealing. I did some TV shows here and there, doing some AD work, helping out with like when they use foreigners in commercials. I'm helping out with that a lot, and I had I don't know if I told the story or not, but when I first got here, I was with an agency, and the agency told me that I had a possible gig, and they called me the day. They said they'll call me back, but they never called me back. And then, like the day of, they called me in the morning, like, "Hey, where are you? We're here at the venue, blah blah blah, getting ready for the shoot." And I was like, "Nobody, you didn't tell me anything." He's like, "Oh, I didn't call you back. I'm so sorry. Can you get here in 20 minutes?" I'm like, "Dude, that's about an hour train ride." So if you give me a helicopter, then yeah, maybe. But other than that, I'll be there in an hour and a half. They're like, "No, that's too late. We'll have to replace you." So I was like, well, okay. So anyway, after that, I never got any calls from the agency. And then a few years later, I was doing some AD work, and one of the guys from the agency. They had their own people there, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you should join our agency? You speak Japanese, and you good-looking guy, blah blah blah. You definitely get some work." I said, "I was with your agency, and they haven't called me in like a year or two." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he was like, "What? Wonder why?" And so I guess he made some calls, and he was like, "Oh, you never showed up to the job they booked you for, so you're like on a blacklist." I was like, "No, no, no, no." And I think it wasn't even a year later, because I still had the guys like short message saying that you know, I'll call you back this week, but then he never called, kind of thing. So I was like, "No, that's not what happened." The manager said he would call me back. He never did, and then the day of, he called me and asked me to come in 30 minutes when I live in Yokohama, and that was past Odaiba. It just wasn't possible. He was like, "Really? Are you sure?" And I showed him the email. He just said he'll call me back. I never had any contact with him after that. And then he mailed me saying, "Hey, I'm sorry I didn't call you back," kind of thing. Can you get here in 30 minutes type thing. So he was like, I knew it. This guy, we've had several issues with him, and a lot of his clients never showed up or stuff like that, the people he looked after. And I was like, "Yeah, that wasn't me." And they were like, "Well, would you like to, come back in?" And, and I was like, "No, I don't need that. I have other jobs now." I mean, that wasn't really my thing anyway. I was doing it for just experience. So that was that. And then now that I'm with crew and stuff, I was doing some other AD work, and that manager shows up with his people, and I'm doing like casting. And helping out with casting. And the manager comes up, and I was like, "Hey, do you remember me?" Now I have short hair. My hair's been cut. And he was like, maybe. I was like, "I'm the guy that you told me you'd call me back. You never did. I didn't make it to the shoot, so you put me on the blacklist saying that I didn't show rather than taking responsibility. Do you remember me now?" And he kind of was like, and so obviously there's a couple of them. And I was like, "Bachi," and he was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, yeah. No, that's not what I said. It is what happened, because I talked to so and so, who is like a head of managers, and he told me that's what happened. That you put me on a blacklist." So he was like, I said, "You didn't take responsibility. You threw me under the bus to save your own ass, and you put me on. You made give me a bad name when I didn't do anything wrong." She's like, "It's not." I said, "It is like that. I talked to your boss like a month or two ago, whatever it was. I mean, it was all around the same time." And I was like, it's you didn't even consider the circumstance. You just ran away. You used me as an scapegoat for the sense that you messed up. You didn't want to get fired." So he's like, "Yeah, but we kind of have to do what we got to do." Ha ha. That made me mad. So he had like 4 foreigners with him. Now we have a room full of about 20 foreigners, 30 foreigners. They all look the same. They're all the same type of person. That's what the client's looking for, like certain height, certain build, certain hair color, certain eye color, anything. So I looked at him and I looked at his 4 guys, and we're to the side talking. And so I went up to these guys. I was like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm here to help out with casting, but I honestly will probably not pick you guys. You can stay and you can do it, and if you impress me, that's awesome. But if you're anything like beyond Leonardo DiCaprio type level, I'm not picking you guys, because this agency put me on a blacklist because he forgot to make a phone call, and he used me as an scapegoat. So I don't trust him. I don't trust him for you guys. So if I was you guys, I would join one of these other agencies, because all of them are in other agencies. They just, whoever gets the first call to come get them, and that's the one they go with to the thing. I was like, if I was you guys, I would leave them. And, he was like, hey, don't do that. So I'm not doing anything. I'm not saying I won't pick them. I'm just saying the chances are very, very slim, because I see some people that I like over there. And I don't like your agency. I don't trust you guys because you lie. You don't take responsibility. So you screwing me hurt your agency. So I was like, you guys, that's your call. You want to stay and do it? That's fine. I'm not saying I won't pick you. Just saying if you're not at top level impressive, I'm not going to deal with this agency. That's just, I don't trust them. So we're in there doing the thing. The guys, of course, stayed because, they're going to take the chances, but they knew they were screwed. And they come in, they did their thing, but, me and the other, I wasn't biased in any way. I wasn't anything. We had our papers out like American Idol, where you have your pictures and your people, and everybody put the ones they liked aside. And the ones that we liked matched up, and it was just not them. And, it wasn't like I was like, don't use them or anything. If they impressed, they would have made it to the pile. So we agreed to these people, and they didn't get casted. So I get a phone call from that agency saying, hey, we heard what happened. And that wasn't, I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say I wouldn't pick him. I just said I don't trust the agency because I don't. The guy lied. He used me. He put me on the blacklist for no reason, and nothing was ever done about it. I'm like, well, yeah, we have some issues with him. We might have to let him go. I said, that's between you guys. But if I ever see him at another casting, it's going to be the same thing, because I do not trust him. If I can't trust the manager, I'm not going to trust the talent. So that's your choice. If you want to send in anything, if I'm there and he's there, it's just going to be the same outcome. So anyway, I don't know whatever happened with them. I never really cared. That was a story. So I get a phone call from a friend who's asking if I could be on a Japanese TV show. And I'm like, let me see. So I call Kroon. Like, hey, what do we got planned for today? It was a Monday, so he's off. He's like, no, I'm just going to be at the house for most of the day. Maybe later on we'll go do some grocery shopping. Go to, Costco. I don't think it was Costco. I think like the base or something, get some food. So I was like, okay, well, they want me to do this TV thing, so can I go do that? And, I'll meet up with you later. He's like, yeah, sure. So I go to the, TV station. I'm going there, and it's, I walk into a dressing room, and it's the Smap guys. They're like a huge Japanese boy band that do these TV shows over here. And I've not heard anything good about these guys ever, and I've actually crossed paths with a couple of them, like in bars or club. And they're just, to me, like I told you before, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. These guys had it several times, and they never came out of whatever attitude that they had, so I just didn't care. So I go in there, and they're sitting down doing their makeup, and the producer or the director, he brings me in, and he's like, hey, this is Bachi. I came short notice. I guess somebody canceled or somebody, whatever. And they're like, he came to help out and replace so-and-so, just, so we could do the shoot today. And not one of them turned around. Not one of them gave me a what up, except for, actually not one of them. Actually, one of them did, but he was a guy who had actually just got in trouble for getting drunk, taking off his clothes, running around Roppongi. But he turned around and he was like, thanks for coming, hope you have fun. So he was cool. So the director's like, all right, just sit down here. They're going to do your makeup after them. So I pull out my PSP or whatever I'm playing, and I'm just in the corner playing games. I don't care. I heard how they were. I already knew how these guys were. But they're huge celebrities. They're huge. So I'm sitting there, and one of the assistant directors or somebody comes in, and he's like, oh, Bachi, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. How is Kroon? Now, Kroon is a huge name. He's a huge baseball player, and he plays for the Tokyo Giants. So one of the main leader of the SMAP, he's a huge Giants fan. He does all the TV shows. He comes down as a special guest to the team and stuff like that. So He turns around in his chair and he's like, what croon? What Giants? What? So the AD was like, oh, Bachi manages Kroon. He's like his personal manager, and he works with the Giants. He was like, oh my God, I'm a huge fan of the Giants, and so I'm playing my game, and I'm talking to the director this way, or the AD guy, and this guy's over here, and he kind of turns around, looks at me, and he's like, oh, I'm a huge Giants fan. I love Kroon. He's a great pitcher. And I just went like this. I was like, I put in the headphone, and I just started playing again. So the AD knew something was wrong. He was just like, and he just walked out of the room. So I just played my game, put the headphones in, and wasn't even listening to anything. They weren't even connected. I just used the headphones when I didn't want to talk to people walking through the station. So he was just like, so I go out to get a drink or something, and the AD was like, Bachi, what was that? And I was like, well, he was rude to me. When you guys introduced me, he didn't even acknowledge me. Now, why do I got to acknowledge him? And I had met him at the field before, too. And so he was like, yeah, but these guys, he's the leader, and they're huge, so you try not to be too disrespectful. I was like, I wondered. I said, oh, okay, and that's more than what he said to me. So we did the show, we did the shoot. It was stupid. I just had to talk to him and play a stupid game or whatever, and after that, it was good. Went home. I don't know when it aired, maybe a month later. I remember I was watching a movie, and my phone, I get a boop, and I thought it was Kroon. But he was on the road, and it was like late at night. So I told him I was going to go watch a movie. He was in his hotel, so I just didn't see what would be so important. But I was just, so first one call, I was going to wait till the key point in the movie kind of died down, and I'd go outside. And my phone, and my phone is blowing up, like it's just constantly vibrating, and I'm trying to. And different vibrations, different ringers, so different contacts are coming in. So I know it's not Kroon because phone calls are coming in, ringers, line, WhatsApp, all these things are ringing or going off. So I'm like, and so I go and I'm like, something's going on. There's an earthquake or something like that, and so I get outside and I look at the thing and I have like 97 missed messages from different things and 30 from this one, 86 from this one. And I'm just like, what the? And I look at it and they're like, oh, you're on Smap, the TV show. Oh, you're on Smap. Oh, you're on Smap. I just saw you on Smap. So it was a huge thing. That was probably the most fame I got since I've been here, probably. All right, well, that's that story of being on Smap and dealing with those guys. Hope you enjoy.